Hi, everyone. Dr. Nikki here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It is time for Taroscopes again, and we're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Aquarius. That's Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising. Now, because of a sudden uptick in my popularity, thanks to some uh, working with both Jen Lynn from Jen Lynn's Tarot and Susan Lynn from Susan Lynn's Psychic Medium channel, I have gotten quite um, a burst of interest in my work. And so I've been doing a lot of readings, and I'm very grateful. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. For those of you who I've done readings for, I'm honored that I have been able to do that for you. And so my time has sort of whittled down a bit, and the taroscopes, especially the astrology part of the taroscopes, do take quite a bit of time. And so I feel that I'm going to do the tarot part of the taroscopes, but I'm not going to be able to do the specific signs as I've been doing over the last couple of months. Although I am going to try to get back into it, I just have to figure out how best to navigate the time constraints that I have now. But I will be doing a reading for of astrology video on the the astrology of the month, and I will mention signs, but it's not going to be as in depth as it has been. So I can only do what I can do, as you know. We can all only do what we can do. So I am going to be doing the reading now, and I'm using a deck that was gifted to me by my good friend Ona. Here's the deck now. It's called the Sacred Web. The Sacred Web. So we're using the Sacred Web Tarot for this reading, Aquarius. Now, of course, because I am who I am, I have to talk astrology anyway. Of course, Pluto, as you know, is in your sign, and in February, all the personal planets moved through the sign of Aquarius, and so we started a whole group of new synodic cycles with Pluto, the planet of transformation, and the personal planets in Aquarius. And so not only is, the world going through big changes, of course, but because you are in Aquarius and now Pluto is in your sign, you're also going through some big changes. So let's kind of see where everything is falling right now. I am actually doing this at the end of March, and today is an eclipse. So it's the full moon eclipse, and then I'm doing this reading. And so far, all the readings I've done today for the different signs on this full moon eclipse have been pretty intense. Now yours could be nice, easy peasy. We'll see. We'll see that I decide to do these readings on an eclipse. But this is the information that you're here to hear. So, all right, let's start with let us start. So we have the one here. This is the magician. This is the magician, the one. I believe this is the magician, or is this the one of cups? See, I don't really know these cards that well. Well, let me see. Hold on. I'm sorry, I don't usually have to pull the book out for these. Oh dear. Something just hold on one second. I'm having a little technical difficulty here. I dropped a card, really. That's the technical difficulty. But it sort of went under the chair, so now I have to go get it. So I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, research has been done and card has been found. Okay, this is the Ace of Cups. I thought so. I saw the one and I'm like, is this the magician? But this is the Ace of Cups. So this is about love. It's about beauty. It's about this is a I think this is a pelican. But the symbol here is the cup. You see the cup down there? And then we have the lotus. And the lotus is a flower that is beautiful and sort of floats on the top of the top of the water, and it's fragrant, and you even have a place to land if you happen to be a frog or something like that because of the pad, right? So there's this sort of opening up to the light energy of the lotus, and yet the roots are found deep within in the muck, in the muck. And so the joy and the happiness that is seen in this card comes from having had to move through the muck a bit, right? A true happiness um, is comes from a place when you can overcome some pretty challenging uh, obstacles in your life. And so you have reached this point where you're sort of at one with this. Now, it's interesting because in the Sag reading, if you happen to have Sag in your chart as well, the Ace of Cups was the first card to come up as well. And so there's a lot of love around you. And what is it that what challenges this? Well, this is the 5 of Wands in this deck. And we have this little owl here. You can see he's hanging upside down, it looks like. Perhaps he's not hanging upside down. What is he doing? But he's looking a little concerned. His eyes are all big. Um, this is about how do you keep your center, that peace that you've been able to find through your challenges while there's so much chaos going on around you. Um, so you can feel a little perhaps overprotective of your feelings or your heart right now because there just seems to be so much stuff coming at you. All right, we have, wow, this is so fascinating. What is this? We have the 5 of, I think this is air. Perhaps I need to read this book before I decide I'm going to do readings with it. This is air. Is air the feathers? I'll know as soon as I know. Yeah. So 5. Okay, the five of air. Change. Yeah. So everything is changing. There's this sense of uh, oneness and love, but everything around you is changing, and including at the root of the situation, you're changing your mind about something as the winds of change blow against my window, going with the tree trunk. I mean the tree branch, my birch tree out there. In the past, you've been hermiting. Oh, you've been hiding out. Oops, sorry. Let's get this up. You've been hiding out there, Missy or Mister. You have been hiding out. You've been in yeah, you've sort of been isolating yourself, thinking about creating perhaps wisdom, all that kind of energy. The 9. Um, and in the sky, we have the end of something and the beginning of something else. So perhaps the time of you um, hermiting away and working on your wisdom and discerning your light is done, and you're being asked to come out into the world now. Whoa, not that. All right. The seer of earth, the seer of earth. What do you see? What wisdom have you gained from this time sort of mucking through the water there? You know, this elephant has got its nose up, it's got the flower in its nose here. Most of its body is under the water and has had to sort of trudge through some mucky. It's very interesting that there's so much of this imaging of beauty coming out of the muck with these cards. But now, what do you see? What do you see on the earth? What's your discernment? What is your discernment? What do you have to? Well, let's first of all say, what do you see? What do you see? Um, how people see you. We have the Scout of Water here. They see you as somebody with a message. With a message, there's a message coming through here. So people are waiting to hear what you have to say. Your domestic situation is the Scout of Earth. Wow, look at that, sticking your fingers in the earth here. I feel like what you're doing at home, the things that you're deciding to do, the way you're deciding to approach things in the very sort of personal space of your home or your domestic situation is something that needs to be either talked about or worked with, or perhaps that's what you need to show. Like, what have you been doing to understand where we are on the planet? What have you been doing for people to understand, and what's worked for you? I think even more importantly, what's worked for you to navigate this rather tumultuous world that we live in. We have hopes and fears, the seven of feathers here. I feel like this is an ability to see things from a higher perspective, to observe. Seven is about analysis and understanding. And of course, the owl can not only see from a distance, they can see in the dark and they can see 360, right? And so either you're hoping that what you're seeing is not what's happening, but maybe you're concerned about how what you're going to say is how it's going to fall with people. How it's going to fall with people. And we have the six of feathers here. This is, you see that the owl has landed. I was going to say the eagle has landed, but the owl has landed. And there is a wisdom here. There is a wisdom here, and there's a balance. Six is about balance. Six is about moving out of troubled waters. I think all of this time navigating and really digging in has, in how you have dealt with the challenges that you've had, is going to be very important and informative for people when you share it with them. We have the ace of feathers here, which is air. So this is about justice and a single pointed. It's a decision force. You're making a decision. The three of feathers, expressing what you understand to a certain extent about the dark nights of the soul that you yourself have gone through. And now it's time to share it with others. Your message is going to be very important. And we have the student of water, the student of water. And then figuring out how to give your message, but learning how to deal with people's emotional responses to the message. There's a little bit of a learning curve with that. Okay, let's see what's underneath it. We have abundance with the Empress. Look at that beautiful card. Is that beautiful or what? Abundance underneath it. The Ace of Pentacles, a new way of manifestation, a new relationship to the earth. These are two very powerful earthy cards, manifesting cards. And hope. Hope, the star card. How we can work together, create the web, as it were, to, quite frankly, save the planet, if I can say that, without sounding too grand and like putting too much responsibility on your shoulders. But there is things that you know, there are things that you understand, there are things that you've been pondering. It's time for that information and those ponderings to be known, for you to speak of them, because there is great potential for stability and for a better world in what you have to share. So whatever that might be, it's time for you to share what you understand, to share what you know, to share your perspective, to let people know this is where we're at. This is how I've dealt with it. And it's worked for me, and it can work for us. That's what it feels like to me. Well, you have Pluto in your sign for 20 years. It looks like you're going to get a lot of work done there, Aquarius. All right, well, that's the story, guys. Woo, that was little, well, like I said, it's a new deck and I'm not that familiar, but sometimes I like doing readings with non-familiar decks because you depend more on your intuitive brain than your actual like thinking brain, your memory brain. Yeah, so there's definitely something that we need to know, something that you know that we all need to know. So I don't know what that means and how you're going to do it, but you'll figure it out. I'm not a crack technology person, but most Aquariuses have a pretty good grasp of what's available and how to get it out there. So um, let's get it out there, right? All right, guys, have yourself a great month. Like and subscribe if you would. If you would like a reading with me, I do have availability. There's a link below for that. There's a link below if you want to become a patron on Patreon for me. The more help I can get in that respect, the more work I can put out, and I would love to do that. What else? What else? What else? What else? There is something else. Oh, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up, share this information if you know an Aquarius who's got a great idea who they're just sitting on, and it's time for them to put it out there. And have a great month. Oops, sorry, I'm buzzing out on you. There we go. Have a wonderful month. I'll see you again next month for the tarot scopes for May, and it's going to look very different in May. Here, it'll be much greener, but probably as windy. Ah, but warmer, which is going to be nice. Warmer is nice. It's been cold for too long. All right, guys, take care. Much love. Namaste.